So now we have the second half of the day and the grand showpiece. We're very excited to show you the animation that is a culmination of the work we have been doing, Barnardo's scene, along with Liz for the past few months. And yeah, I just want to spend another moment to really thank everybody for being here today, and to again thank all of our powerful speakers who've contributed. So the next session we're going to have this animation, a short presentation from Liz, and then a panel discussion with 4 fantastic panel members, of which Liz is one, and the other 3 I will introduce. But we're going to begin with the animation now. So is everybody in the room? I think we've got everyone now. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to close the door. And also I'd like to make, thank you so much. I'd like to make you aware that the animation itself, at the end of the day, will be available on Liz's Instagram. And we encourage everybody to go there, to share it as much as possible, and make sure that this work is spread, because ultimately that's why everybody is here today, to help bring the incredible learning that we've all had together and that we'll continue to benefit from out into our practices, into our communities, and into this important area of work. So we encourage you to share, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it. So without any further ado, I'm going to go to the animation.
Hello, I'm Liz Pemberton, and I spent 16 years as a nursery manager in Edgbaston, Birmingham. The demographic of the children and families in my setting were predominantly people of the global majority. My many years working with children and families as a nursery manager, and now as an independent early years anti-racist consultant, has deepened my understanding of why anti-racism work should focus on adults who educate and care for children under 5. To help early years educators take an active approach to anti-racism, I devised the 4 E's of anti-racist practice: embrace, embed, ensure, and extend. Early years educators. Embrace all children's racial, cultural, and religious or non-religious backgrounds, especially when they differ from your own. Consider how children and families feel walking into your setting. How do you engage with black dads compared to white moms? Would you challenge a colleague who describes a black girl's hairstyle as wild or crazy, but calls a white girl's hair beautiful and neat? Embed a culture of belonging and value among early years educators, children and their families. Ensure everyone in your setting feels they belong. If your setting is predominantly white, consider how a child or family of the global majority may feel. Having a written anti-racist policy is proactive and may ease fears about how you would handle a racist incident. Ensure your practice is culturally sensitive and places the child and their family as the experts of their cultural, racial, and religious or non-religious identities. Even as a professional, you must decenter yourself and accept that you're not the expert on all families. Healthy anti-racist practice means actively centering global majority voices and listening, especially when corrected. Avoid becoming defensive. Extend learning opportunities for yourself and the child by showing interest, expanding conversations, and using culturally relevant resources. Multiracial dolls, posters, and books are the bare minimum. Consider how you interact with your resources. Ensure all ethnicities of dolls are played with and discuss different eating practices. And validate all cultural ways of eating. Challenging and dismantling racism within our society should not fall solely on those impacted by it. But we often find ourselves doing this work repeatedly. To see change, we must recognise that racism is a well-oiled machine. We need to be equipped to deal with this right from the start of a child's life.
Global majority. This is a term coined by Rosemary Campbell Stevens, defining the global majority as a collective term for people who are Black, African, Asian, Brown, dual heritage, indigenous to the global South, and or have been racialized as ethnic minorities. Globally, these groups represent approximately 80% of the world's population and are set to remain so for the foreseeable future.
I really hope that you appreciate and enjoyed that, and also recognised the softness and the playfulness of that content, and the brightness of the visuals and the joy. Because often when we're talking about this, it is really hard going. And I think, you know, when Dr. Stella Louis talks about this being difficult for everybody, she meant that. And I think when we're thinking about visual resources, so often the conversation stays with it being uncomfortable and not being able to move past that. And what I wanted to do in having this day, choosing this venue, thinking about the visual resources, thinking about the ways in which we put that animation together, was working with somebody like Sheni. Stand up, please, Sheni. Everybody look at Sheni. Stand up. This is the mind, this is the expertise, this is the reason we have this finished product. This man is a mastermind, a phenomenal being, and somebody who is able to literally put all of my thoughts and feelings and ideas into what you see as a final product. And it's one that I wanted to ensure was packaged with joy and in a way that you could share it readily and easily, actually, with any and every person, institution, organisation that works with children under 5, and even children who are 6 and 7. So thinking about those of us who work directly or indirectly in school environments, thinking about reception, thinking about Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, I think that's really important as well, that we think about how we ensure these messages ripple out, okay? So, as Delano said, also, actually, it was Delano's voice that was the in the last part of that video as well, reading out that definition of global majority. So round of applause for Delano's voice.